they come out clean.
What is going on, y'all? We are back with another episode. Birds in the buckets. Yeah, let's get it, yeah. I am your host, Malik Brown, accompanied by my co-host, Rashad Milligan. Rashad, how you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. You know what I'm saying? Had to break out the robot. You know, it's the 10th anniversary of Michael Jackson found not guilty on all counts. So, you know, I had to break out the robot.
Had to break it out, man. Had to break it out. So, of course, you know, we had to bring on another fan. We got another Hawks fan today. And today, we got Allen Robinson, man. We got Allen Robinson. Look.
Yes, sir.
Big supporter of the podcast. We already know he been waiting for us to drop, so we dropped, and now we was like, we had to bring him on. So, Allen, you here, bro? You here? What's going on? How you doing?
Not much, man. It's been an honor, man. I appreciate it, man. You know, y'all boys told it down for the real Hawks fan. The real Hawks fan, man.
Got to.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Got to. So, shoot, let's just dive straight into it, really. This Hawks versus Sixers second round matchup. The Sixers lead 2-1. Hawks took the first game in Philly. Then they lost the second game. Philly came to State Farm Arena and just dominated from first quarter to fourth quarter on Friday.
Thank them boys.
Thank them boys. So, what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all overall thoughts of let's just start with Game 3. What are y'all thoughts? You go ahead, Alan.
Well, to me personally, I wanted the Trey, Bogey, T. Snell, Collins, Capella lineup just to get good spacing. Not saying that Solo ain't doing a bad job, but as far as spacing for like Trey to operate, even though T. Snell he can't really stand in front of a lot of people and not strong enough. I'd rather have him
they be killing Solo, man. They be killing Solo.
Yeah.
My man's just out here just trying to work hard, bro. He just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Man went to the finals. Only man with finals experience on the team right now.
Yeah, that's why I think they banking on, man. But he can't. He's not a good floor spacer, man. And then if he is open, it's like when Josh Smith or Kent Bazemore just Not Bays. Bays got better, man. You know, Bays got better when Cole was around. But prior to that, Lord have mercy. But shout out to Bays, though, man.
Oh, yo, I got a question for y'all. Just based off of that, like you gave something very interesting when talking about the lineup combinations. And then bringing up Solo. Solo had a very interesting quote this past week. He said when DeAndre Hunter starting forward for the Hawks, the best defender and the second best overall player on the team. He went out for the season. He had to get torn meniscus surgery. That was earlier this week. Solomon Hill came out and said, man, he's a big part of what we do. He's the reason why we won that Knicks series. He didn't average 20 points a game, but he's the reason why we won that series. And he was going to be the main reason why we made it to the finals. So saying that before Game 3, saying that before the series is over, how did you feel about Solo coming out and saying that, I guess, in real time?
He a realist to me, man. He recognized real, man. He know what fits the team. Well, we seen that in the Sixers series. Like DeAndre length, his physicality, he able to get his own shot. You see what I'm saying? He's a help for Capella. Because, like I said, Capella, he already battling with Embiid. So Dre at least like cut him out before they get there. You know what I'm saying? He's a stopper. You see what I'm saying? So he's real. He's real in what he said, though. I agree.
I think it was definitely exaggerated just a tiny bit. I mean, honestly, just looking back on the Hawks and Knicks series, DeAndre Hunter did play a big part, but I still feel like they would have won without him. Like, he really pushed them over. Like, I mean, the Knicks just didn't have
Rose was giving them boys about 50 if it weren't for Hunter. Rose was going to give them 50 and hit the game when it weren't for Hunter.
But honestly, I still feel like, I mean, Derrick Rose was getting where he wanted to go. Like, I mean, granted, Hunter did his thing, but Derrick Rose was still dropping like 20, 25 like a game. So I mean, of course, he limited him to a certain extent. Him and I think he did a good job on Julius too. But I don't know if he was. I wouldn't say he's the main reason that they won the series. Like, he definitely had a big part. Now, looking on this Sixers series right here, I just honestly think that the Hawks are just like over. Like, they're just undermatched right now. Like, I don't think they just have enough to beat Philly. Like, of course, they went in Philly game one and did their thing, but I don't know if DeAndre Hunter really just does much. Because, I mean, okay, you can put him on Tobias Harris and he can, limit him. But as you've seen, it's just not Tobias Harris, or you still got to worry about Embiid. You still got to worry about Steph Curry. Still got to worry about number 30 on the other. Yeah, whatever. I forgot his name. I can't really pronounce it like that. But you still got to worry about the other dude. So, I mean, honestly, maybe if you add another defender like Cam or something like that, I think they'll have a better chance. But I don't think that DeAndre Hunter really tips the scale that much, so they actually have like a chance in this series. Because what I've seen from the last two games, or just basically on Friday, it just looks like the Hawks just don't have enough, in my opinion.
I don't necessarily agree with your point about Dre not making that big of a difference in this series. I think he makes a huge difference. I mean, because he's the second best player, like, in my opinion. And like, I agree with Solo. Oh, well, yeah, I got you, Alan. I got you, Alan. The question I have is, do you think, like when it's over, like when DeAndre Hunter out for the season, when that came out, I knew it was over. It's like the Hawks had a slight chance if Hunter came back. If Cam came back, I didn't think that was much of a factor because Chris Dunn came back at the end of the season and he never got in the rotation. Nate never put him in the rotation. So when Dre was like, okay, Dre's not coming back, period, I'm like, okay, it's over. When it's over, I know it's over, it's over, do you think it's appropriate to say out loud, to be quoted that it's over? Because like Alan said, what Alan said, Solo is a realist and Solo told the truth, but should you tell the truth before it's over, like out loud publicly? Or should you wait until after the series and be like, yeah, the DeAndre thing was kind of like it for us? Because it's kind of like, being down 20 points with 2 minutes left and you're still playing hard and you're still pressing. Like, you're supposed to play hard because we still got time, as long as it's not triple zeros, but the game is over. But you're not supposed to admit that the game is over. You're supposed to play hard into triple zero. So just how do you guys feel about kind of like in that aspect of things?
I think you definitely don't say it's over already, because I feel like it's a lot of people already saying it's over, and even like the big publications, I don't want to name drop, but I mean The Athletic, they just dropped an article like a couple of days ago talking about perspective is key or something like that. But when you read the article, it's basically saying like the Hawks, just reading it just makes it seem like, okay, he basically just wrote off the Hawks, like it's over. Like, he was basically saying Philly's been trying to get a championship, trying to work to this point forever, and the Hawks are just now starting or whatnot. It was just felt like it was kind of like him saying like, yeah, it's not this year, not this year. But I think like as far as like in the locker room, players, like, I don't think you shouldn't do it, because even watching the games, like last game, I think the Hawks were down they were down big, like late in the fourth, but the starters were still in the game. So it was kind of like Nate McMillan saying like, there's still a chance, but if you a fan or something, you kind of just know like the game's over while the starter's still in the game. You feel me? And I think he kind of did that. He did that in the second game too, but it was kind of just the same thing. Kind of like, okay, they're down by like 18 with maybe like 4 or 3 minutes left. You have one last run, but when have you like seen that? It just doesn't. It seemed like the game's over. So I don't like the whole it's over now thing is because I mean it's still 2-1. Like it's still 2-1, and the Hawks they have another home game, so anything can
Yeah,
happen.
it's just you're right, Malik. It's just like pretty much over. You know, it's not over. It's just 97% over.
I think that's still a chance. Probably like a.
I think hey Alan, I look at what's happening on the other side of the bracket in the East with obviously okay, what's happening
Kyrie.
on the other side of the bracket, just to give you guys a full thing of what's going on as we're recording this on Sunday night. Kyrie went down for the Brooklyn Nets in game 4 against Milwaukee. Of course, James Harden, the other big guard for Brooklyn, he hurt himself on the first play of like the first game in game 1. So Harden's out, Kyrie's out now, and it's just Kevin Durant. Milwaukee and the series that looked like it was all Brooklyn. Brooklyn was up 2-0, and then they were really close to going up 3-0. Game came down to who was that? Who was that took it? Bobby Brown, Bruce Brown. I think it's Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown go. hey. Hey, Bruce Brown goes to the lane and tries to play superhero with 2 superstars on his team on the court. And, he loses them that game. But they were, like, literally that layup away from going up 3-0. And, it looked like it was all but over. It was going to be a sweep. And then, now it's 2-2. It's a whole new series. So, especially with Embiid being questionable before every single game. I know we were talking about that before we recorded. If Embiid goes down, you don't want to speak that over anybody, knock on wood, but it could be a whole new series because that's the main guy who is bullying you and killing you. Of course, Simmons had a great game 3, but other than that, Ben Simmons has kind of been, defensively, the great Ben Simmons on defense, first couple of games, of course, he had a couple of stops on Trey, but for the most part, he couldn't play Trey the entire time because the only time he could play Trey, the Ben Simmons way, is when he fouled him, and he would end up getting in foul trouble all the time in those first 2 games of the series. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I would say it's open just because of the injury factor. If everybody's healthy, like as is, it's over with. It's 100% over. I'm not even saying 97%, 100% over.
All right, so I got a question for y'all. I'm glad you brought up the whole Ben Simmons being a great thing or whatnot. And it's a whole debate on Twitter ever since Ben has been like the primary defender on Trey. It's been Philly fans or whatnot wilding saying, "Oh man, Ben shutting Trey down, blah 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 blah." Is Ben really shutting Trey down? That's just a simple question. Do y'all really think that he's shutting Trey down?
I say that he's bothering with his length. I say that because, like I said, even one time I want to say game 2, Trey tried to shoot a jumper, and Ben just reached up and just blocked his shot like with ease, like he just timed it. But I think he's bothering with his length. I would say he's just a little flustered.
Yo, Alan, I just realized that your background is a Fresh Prince living room. Like as you was answering, I was like, "That's where that living room is from." That's crazy. But what I wanted to say about that, I think you obviously have to look at the results. So obviously the results are different than what they have been with Ben in the past. Like in the past, entering this series, everybody was saying, "Oh, Ben Simmons and Trey, like Ben Simmons is going to give Trey some problems." And I was like, historically, Trey's kind of owned Ben Simmons every time they played for some reason, which never made sense to me because, Simmons is 6'10 and Trey is 6'1, but listed as 6'1. I think he's like, if you've seen him in person with shoes, he's probably like 6'2. But yeah, where was I going with that? Simmons is different. Trey's just looking different, man. And like Trey said, he's kind of been denying it every time they asked him about it. How is Simmons kind of aggravating you? How has he made it difficult for you? And he's like, it's not really Simmons. It's really just, I'm getting good looks. I'm just not knocking them down. But if it happens 3 games in a row, there's something there. There's something there. There's something disrupting him. And I think it's a little bit of everybody. Simmons, Thibault, all the guys who get credited being great defenders. I think he's just when your shot is getting blocked, when the shots that usually don't get blocked get blocked. When there's little differences like that, little adjustments that you have to get, like it's different than with the Knicks. Like with the Knicks, when they tried to deny him the ball and he ended up getting the ball, he just do it anyway. And the Knicks were blocking him a lot in the regular season, and Knicks fans would bring up those clips, and I'm like, oh man, but like Trey adjusted and he found his holes and he found his lanes against the Knicks. Against the Sixers, he's still getting his points, but it's just not as pretty. So yeah, I think Ben is playing a part of it, but I also think it's the defensive game plan that Doc has drawn up, and then also just the fact that Philly has good defenders just in general.
So, Danny Green is supposed to miss 2 to 3 weeks. Does that make a difference? Well, I feel like it depends on who they insert in the starting lineup. I mean, Alice said, nah.
Hey, Alan, is that the Solo equivalent if Solo missed it?
Yeah, man. Nah, he's not gonna
shout
make
out
it
Solo though. Shout out Solo though. All respect, Solo. All respect. No disrespect. No disrespect. Go ahead, Alan.
But yeah, I don't think he makes a big. I'm saying like, nah, he doesn't because they tried. Remember the game one, they tried to put him on trade. It didn't work. And like I say, he's been shooting inconsistently also. So he's pretty much a non-factor. And when Shake had his game, it's like, all right, then he can have a seat. You got Ty Wood, so we got a little sub for you, man. Go ahead and take a seat next to the coach.
I got another question for you, Malik and Alan. Y'all remember last year, like we talked about mental health a few episodes ago at the end of the regular season. Last season in the bubble, Danny Green wasn't playing the best in the bubble in the playoffs, and he was getting killed. And then, Paul George wasn't playing the best. And they both said the same thing. They both said, they put it on mental health and stuff. Now seeing what you see, the fans, you're back home, things are kind of a little more regular. You get to see your family after the game. You get to go home after the game. PG and Danny Green are still struggling to find their shot in the playoffs. How much of this can you contribute to mental health, or do you not even want to touch that because you don't know the man, you don't want to get in the man's personal business? Would you say, now that you've seen it outside the bubble, in regular conditions again, how much would you say it's still mental health?
Well, they. I don't want to touch it per se, because like I said, I don't know, like personally. But like I said, PG at a point in time, he was that. Woo, Lord have mercy, right? Same thing with Danny Green. Like they both kind of like streaky players, like I said. But towards like the latter part of PG's career, he's starting to become real streaky. Like I said, just yesterday, you couldn't even put him out. He was so hot. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they both up and down players. So I would say mental health could be a factor. And like I said, I'm still not gonna touch that though. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to touch that. I mean, I understand. I could understand where he was coming from last year with Paul George in the bubble. I could understand that. But Paul George has this thing where he struggles in every year in the playoffs. So, I mean, you could blame the mental health for sure, but at the same time, you still do not perform when the lights come on. So, and since you've left, well, he didn't even do anything in OKC. Since he left the Pacers, he hasn't done a thing in the playoffs.
Well, it's really been since he said playoff P.
True, playoff P. Yeah, true. Yeah, and that was the first game of
OKC.
The first game of the series. Yeah, yeah. So since then, he's been up and down. Danny Green is just like Alan said, he's streaky. I mean, it's kind of hard to touch, but I don't think Danny Green is just I don't think he got it like that. I just don't think he got it like that.
Danny Green, you're not that guy. I'm sorry. That's a joke. That's a joke, Danny. See, ever since Kwame, you gotta clarify immediately when it's a joke. You gotta keep it professionally.
You're gonna end up on
strictly
live.
basketball. No, Mama's cooking. I'm not playing with that. You're not tearing down any of our own or nothing like that. These are just jokes. But let me see. Anything else from you, Malik? Before we move on to the next thing,
I would like to know: do y'all think the game plan that Nate has is good, just as far as defensively? Because I mean, Embiid getting whatever he want regardless, and honestly, it just seems like the Sixers in general are just getting whatever they want. So is it a coaching problem, or is it, like I said, like are the Hawks are just, they don't have enough?
I'll say it's a player's problem because I watched that game and it was one. I give an instance. Ben was posting up JC. Seth Curry was on the weak side. The weak side is pretty much like the opposite side of the ball in the corner, right? Trey tried to double Ben Simmons and left Seth Curry open. Like stuff like that, you can't do that. Like I'm pretty sure JC can handle Ben Simmons on his own, except for that next possession. And that's when Ben Simmons like ate his lunch. But other than that, like just if y'all gonna double Embiid or pretty much triple team Embiid, everybody got to rotate. Everybody got to fill in their gaps on the weak side because if you double him on the strong side, the ball has to get swung around. So it's like it's just mental lapses that they have. So I think he's doing a decent job, but like I said, I think it's just personnel. Like, that's why I say DeAndre Johnson is the second best player. So back to you.
I'm gonna go rotations, man. It goes back to rotations. Like in game 3, like I like the rotation so far in the first 2 games. I know a lot of people, a couple of Hawks fans were like, why didn't Trey get in earlier in the fourth quarter in game 2? Trey didn't have it all night, and they were down by like 13, bro. Like, and then Lou had it going too. Lou had a couple points. You know, he had it going a little bit. Go with Lou. You know what I'm saying? That he had it going. Anyways, game 3, if I'm Nate, the team didn't have it. Like, you know, like what Alan was saying, it was a player's problem. So if the players on the floor don't have it, make a statement. Y'all don't want to play basketball? Don't play basketball. I bet Skylar Mays want to play basketball. Nathan Knight want to play. Chris Dunn want to play basketball. Put them jokers in and put them in early and put them on the bench and then see how I feel. If y'all don't want to play basketball, we gonna play Nathan Knight and Skylar. Skylar, you wanted to play? He been waiting for this his whole life. The NBA playoffs. Put him in the game. Sit Trey down.
He been waiting to play
basketball.
Since
they having layup drills. They having layup line out there. They go to the Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons Jones again. I'm like, they done gave up 5 open dunks at Ben Simmons in the first quarter alone. Don't nobody want to play basketball right now. Bogey missing his open shots, and he ain't defending nobody. You got to pick one or the other. You're going to make your open shots or you're going to defend somebody. You can't do both. You can't miss your open shot and then that defender lit. Sit him down. John Collins, he all of a sudden can't play basketball no more in the postseason. Sit John Collins down. I don't care what his name is. And that's all due respect to John Collins. He going to get right. He a good man. He works hard. And there's no tougher critic probably in the world than John Collins on John Collins. He knows what he has to do. He had 23, 28 points in game 3. It wasn't the 23 the Hawks needed. Clint Capella, 16 rebounds on the stat sheet. If you watch the actual game, I didn't even know Clint Capella played the game. Oh, I did. That's right. Because Trey get to the lane, he throw up a lob, and Clint missing open dunks. Clint Capella don't want to make open dunks. Sit Clint Capella down. Nathan Knight, it's your time. He been waiting for this. Bruno Fernando. Okay, Skylar Mays Chris Dunn, Bruno Fernando, Nathan Knight, and then Goodwin. Goodwin out. Okay, so we're going to put in Snell instead. Snell, congratulations. You get a couple more minutes. Sit everybody else down. If you want to make a statement, do that in the first quarter. Do that at the 5-minute mark, because obviously y'all ain't trying to play basketball tonight. We're going to give it to some people who've been waiting, who've been doing nothing but doing little sideline celebrations the past 3 weeks. We're going to give them a chance since y'all don't want to play basketball. That's what Nate need to do. I don't care, man. You about to go down 3-1. You go down 3-1, the series over either way. The series over if you keep training the game. The series over if you take them out the game. Put in Nathan Knight. Put in Skylar Mays in the first quarter. That's what Nate need to do, in my opinion.
I think we just got our 30-second snippet. I think we just got. I think that's a good little 30-second snippet right there. Put on Twitter tomorrow. But it's funny because I feel like since Nate has been here, and I mean he kind of emphasized it like later in the season, like as far as like he want everybody to be a two-way player. Like he's trying to build everybody to be two-way. And it's not a lot of two-way players going right now in this series. It's either somebody playing just straight offense and nobody's barely playing any defense. So
they was playing it against the Knicks when they was winning. They was playing it then. They had all the pride in defense then. Now you don't want to play defense again. Okay. All right. Skylar Mays, Baton Rouge, Nathan Knight, two-way lineup. It's called a two-way lineup. Since y'all don't want to play defense no more because you missed a couple open shots. Lou ain't played defense all year. That's okay. He 86. He the only one who had the excuse to not play defense.
And they got Gallo out there trying to do his thing on defense. And Gallo, he can't move. He can't move worth nothing. So, he can barely get up and get a dunk. So I mean, like y'all said, Game 3 was kind of just like it just seemed like they just didn't have it at the end of the day. So tomorrow, Monday, which this video will be released.
And it's not going to change with the MLK jerseys.
I was just about to say.
The MLK jerseys will not save you. Martin Luther King Jr. is not walking out on that court tomorrow to save you. Yeah, hey, the way y'all playing, man, MLK, Coretta Scott King is not going on that court to play some defense. She's not about to go out there and guard Joel Embiid. I don't care. You wearing MLK, John Lewis uniforms with the John Lewis patch. You wearing the Andrew Young, the Ralph David Abernathy, whatever y'all wearing. I don't care who y'all wearing. The Killer Mike jersey, the barbershop jersey. These are Killer Mike barbershop jerseys. Hey, y'all got to play some defense, man. Y'all got to act like y'all care because y'all giving up 10 open dunks in the first quarter.
So do y'all think if the Hawks actually play some defense, do the Hawks' chances to go up, or is it still 100% over? Is the series still over?
I try to be positive, man, but like I said, if we clean that up, we'll know, man. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it up in the air, man. But like I said, all what we seen was defensive liability and defensive breakdowns. Like another one was like Okongwu kept Malik in the pick and roll with George Hill, and Dwight Howard kept leaking wide open. I'm like, he did that the whole game. I'm like, all right, man, whatever, man. And like you say, Gallo, Snell, like I said, Tobias Harris getting what he want whenever he want, and there's nothing we can do about it at all. Hawks in 7.
Oh, man, Hawks in, you heard it here first. Allen Robinson, y'all. Hawks in 7. Oh, my gosh. Hey, if the defensive intensity turns up, I'll give the Hawks this. If the defensive intensity turns up, they might be able to hit a couple more shots because they get the juices going from getting a couple more defensive stops. So you know what? It's not Sixers and 5. It's Sixers and 6. If you turn up the defensive intensity, I give you Sixers and 6. You know what I'm saying? If the Hawks can turn up the defensive intensity and Embiid is still healthy, I give you Sixers and 6. Because you still got, like Alan said, you still got Harris. You know what I'm saying? Harris giving whatever he wants. He the all-star too. Thing you can control is Ben. Ben not going to have the type of offensive night he had in game 3. That was all-star Ben Simmons. That was NBA Twitter. I've been reading y'all comments all season, Ben Simmons. That was a different Ben Simmons. So he not going to do that every night. You can bank on, if you play defense well enough, on kind of containing him. Harris is
especially in the second half.
Exactly. But exactly in second half when you get the Hackett Simmons time. That joker was making free throws last game, but that ain't going to happen again. That's not going to happen for another 2 years. So same with Dwight. So, I mean, you good on those two. But Harris is always going to get his, and Embiid is always going to get his. If you can count on an off night from Harris, and then, shout out to Trey. Trey, he played one possession of defense on Embiid last game. Embiid backing him down, Trey fighting. Trey clawed, grabbed the ball. I think they called a foul because Embiid did like this. He ain't touch his head. But shout out to Trey for that one possession of defense and effort he showed. It showed that he wanted to win. So shout out to Trey, and hopefully you can inspire the rest of your teammates to play some defense because that's the only way y'all going to get it. Because y'all not going to go out there and Bogey hitting 33s in a row, Gallo hitting 33s in a row, Luke coming off the bench scoring 20 in a row. That's not going to happen again, you know? And if it does, you know, the Pope kissed the MLK jerseys and the spirit of MLK on the court and the choir sung the little anthem or whatever it took for y'all to get that. That might happen, but you have a better chance of getting it started on the defense and having your defense turn into offense. So if the defense steps up, I got the Sixers in 6, not 5 and 6.
Okay, what if Cam come back?
Hey, man, I'm not trying to talk down on any black man in 2021. I'll say that, man. I'm not trying to talk down on any black man in 2021. If Cam come back, you know, I think one thing you can say, but you look at that Knicks series. I look at Knicks game 1. Nicolina ain't played the whole time, but he's the best defensive guard and the tray stopper. So you put him in at the end of the game, he looked like he forgot how to play basketball. Because you can't put cold legs out there and just expect them to be a great defender just because they're a great defender all their career. So with Cam, I think it might take some time because they say you could practice at full scrimmage mode all you want to. The game is a whole different thing. Nonetheless, playoff game, a postseason experience. And he ain't played a postseason game in his life. So, you know, in the NBA. So that's a whole different thing to kind of like Cam, Dre is out. You need to at least be Dre on the defensive side of the ball. That's a lot to ask from him. After he hasn't played, when's the last time Cam played? Like December? Like he did the little jelly on the Nets. What game? That was after the Harden trade. So that was probably like January.
February.
February. Okay, February.
March,
and that Nets game was like what? January against the Nets when they had the little powder blues and he had the jelly to send into
He
overtime.
He hasn't played with Nate, has he?
No.
He hasn't played with Nate. I think I feel like the last game I saw him was like against the Heat. It may have been that game before Lloyd's last game, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I think Miami was his last game because Nate's first game in Orlando, Bogey
came back, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's literally how I remember it. So, yeah. That if that was the last time Cam played, that's a long time. So
they told me Cam was a savior though.
You know, that this is the same arena that chanted, "We want Cam," you know, on draft night. So you know, like anything Cam do, they gonna rock with Cam. Yeah, I mean, that's just a given. And for good reason. Cam has always been that guy that's gotten a lot of praise from his teammates and stuff from practice. I got to see practice Cam, because the way they talk about him is just amazing. So, but defensively, he's always been that guy defensively. I just think that's a lot to ask for from a guy who hasn't played in 4 months in his postseason debut to be the tip-top defensive, person that he has been all season. But also at the same time, what do you have to lose? Like the series is as is. If everything stands pat, no adjustments have been made, the series is over. The only thing you're banking on is if Embiid gets hurt. The series is over. So if Cam comes back, I'm throwing him in there, but I'm not. The expectation is low in my opinion.
Cam, he hasn't he's been playing only like 3-on-3 and 4-on-4. So me being honest, I don't think he's not gonna play because he's not up to date. And like y'all said, the playoff speed is way different. But healthy, like I said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a Cam believer, bro. It just he's only thing wrong, he's just inconsistent on the offensive end, bro. And like I said, he plays a lot of dumb basketball. He probably try to go up on 2 people, dribble through eight people. You know what I'm saying?
Shaq the Fool, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he just play a lot of dumb basketball. But if I seen Herter, who was extremely passive before Nate got him, and now Herter, the Herter that we wanted, you see what I'm saying? I think it can be the same for Cam, bro. You just got to simplify the game.
White boy summer.
Yeah, Hurt been hooping, man. He been like hooping, like aggressive. I remember one time in the regular season, he was going to the hole. He had a layup. He went behind the back to Capella, man, and turned the ball over. I'm like, what? I swear, bro. I'm like, bro, what is this? And now he got shooting the floater. Like, he being aggressive, man. Like I said, it happened when they stepped in, so I think he could do the same for Cam, man. I'm a Cam believer, bro. I swear. And plus, I'm a defensive guy. I like defense and people being scrappy. And like I said, he's so active. He's very active, man. And you got DeAndre, he's more of a stopper, physical, long and stuff. And Cam, like how when they played the Nets, how they came to play, you know what I'm saying? That, right? I'm a believer, bro. I'm a Cam believer, but see, leave us, man.
I have a follow-up question on that though. So with both of them boys, so I like you say, like I like Cam a lot too, but I like him especially with Dre, So you get both of them jokers in there. Like I like both of them together. But at the same token, it's like, well, first of all, I don't think anybody outside of Atlanta understands like Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter being out, like how much that impacts the Hawks. People outside Atlanta don't understand that because like both of them don't average 30 points like Trey. So we all know here. My question to y'all is, at what point do you kind of look at both of them and kind of just their injury history these first couple of years and go, dang, like, are we ever going to get Dre and Cam season? Are we ever going to get that? Like, at what point do you kind of start looking at that?
True. I mean, this isn't this DeAndre's first injury, right? Or has he been hurt before? I don't remember him being hurt last year.
No, he wasn't hurt. And I know. I think he might have been hurt in college. I'm not too sure. But other than that, I think he's been 100%.
It may have been something minor.
I know he didn't play in summer league, but that might have been because of the trade.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he couldn't play because of the trade.
And Cam had that abdominal issue when he first started.
Yeah, so I know. So yeah, Cam's been hurt with the core, and then now the Achilles, and like everybody's still banking on him to just be this guy, but he hasn't even had a full like off season training camp. Like he got COVID messed him up, and then last year with the injury, of course. So this upcoming season is like the season where we should see both of them, but we still don't know how long Dre's going to be out after he has his surgery. I don't really know the recovery process of a meniscus tear or whatnot, but I mean, of course, he's going to have to get back up to game speed or whatnot. So at some point next season, we should be able to see Dre and Cam at the same time playing good basketball. Hopefully this offseason, Cam just continues to work. I mean, he was working last offseason. He was with Steph Curry. So everybody was trying to figure out, where's that guy? We heard he was in LA locking up KD. So, and we still didn't see any of that. I mean, we saw it when they played the Nets those first 3 times, but other than that, like, Cam was just the Cam we saw rookie season. So will he ever just be, like you said, will he just be like this? Or will he be like this? Who knows? But at least with Dre, he showed us something at least for a month or so. We saw, okay, this dude is like for real. Like, they really did good with this draft pick. He's going to be a part of the Hawks' future. He, like y'all said, second best player on the Hawks. So we got that with him. Cam is legit a question mark. Because if we're being honest, his rookie season, it was after All-Star break, that's really when he really started to take off. And then he had that like 30-point game against Washington or whatnot. So, and that's what since we talk about Cam, I want to bring this to the table because one of my friends was telling me about this. Well, he was just talking, but he was like, he doesn't think that Cam would be successful in Atlanta because of Trae Young. And he feels like Cam needs to go somewhere where he can actually have the ball and be a dominant, like a ball handler. He can't do that with Trae here. So what do y'all think about that?
I think the Hawks have been thirsty for a second ball handler. Like they tried to make Cam one. Pierce tried to make him one. He tried to make Herder one. He tried to make anybody, DeAndre Brimbury one. So like the Hawks have been looking for a second ball handler for Trae. Rondo, they tried that. Lou Williams, they tried that, or they're trying that right now. So BG, they tried him. So they've been thirsty for that second ball handler, and obviously I think Bogey's kind of done the best in that role so far, but he starts too, so it's kind of like who is the backup, and that could be easily be Cam. Like, so if Cam was so great with the ball in his hand, like that's his opportunity, and he hasn't taken advantage of it yet to be like clear cut over Herder, over Will, over BG, over all those guys. It's Cam Reddish. He's the second best ball handler on this team. He's a ball handler for that second unit. He hasn't taken advantage of that yet, or we haven't seen that yet. So I think if that was true for Cam, we would have seen it by now. But, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, he has to take advantage of the opportunity when it was time for him to initiate the offense or run the offense. We seen what happened. A lot of stumbling and fumbling. Yeah. So it's really on Cam. And like I said, one of my homies also said the same thing too. Like he might thrive somewhere else because, like I said, it's not. It can be about him instead of like more of a, because it's his trade team. Cam came in. Cam coming from before like Duke. It was all about Cam. Cam like the man. Folks on YouTube like, oh my God, Cam. He's different. The Ant-Man video. He's just different, man. Like he come from being the man to being the third option, and then now it's like the second pick in the first round of for the Hawks. So it's like he's trying to kind of like find his way, man. So I'll say room for my dog, man.
Question for Allen though on the follow up. Do you see him? Because the way I see him, especially with Malik's boys kind of proposition, if he had the ball in his hands, does he remind you of? This is gonna sound crazy. Tracy McGrady.
Well, I don't want T Mac to get mad at me. Cause he got mad at who was that? Somebody like, yeah, man, Paul George and that Tracy McGrady. Tracy was like, what? Like he really looked at it. He was like, nah. Tracy probably 1-on-1, but Cam game is like very similar. But like I said, I haven't seen Cam be a passer. You know what I'm saying? I see him make good passes, but as far as like initiating, making the right pass and making the right decision, I haven't seen that in Cam. But as far as like offensive wise, I think he got all the tools in the toolbox, bro. But it's like he might trip over his shoelace type stuff. Like it's just weird stuff like that. Bro, you like, what? Come on, Cam. I'm talking about he like won that game. Y'all remember that game he did like two spin moves back to back and then still got the ball off. I'm like, what?
At the
And it
full
was like,
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, went over the goal. I'm like, but like I said, it's like he just got to slow it down. I think he's pressing. And I also think like, I don't know if we can shout out other YouTube channels. Oh, okay. What is this channel called? Cam Record. It has all the good and bad of DeAndre. I mean, not DeAndre Hunter. Cam Reddish, like every play. And you'll see like
Yo, shout out to that dude. That's dedication.
Yeah. You can see like, dang, boy, good God, what? Cam, what? Like you'll see good, bad, and ugly Cam, and like, but like just watching, like, cause like I said, I'm a big Cam fan. He's so aggressive. He just tries to force a lot of stuff. He like just slow it down, bro. He just keep it simple. Shoot the floater. You got to try to dunk on him and miss a dunk. It's a fad. You know what I'm saying? So he just got to slow it down. But he's a legit dog, and you can see it on defense. For offense, he just got to clean it up a little bit.
All right, so I feel like we kind of touched mostly everything of Hawks Sixers. So, Alan, I know you got the old school Hawks hat on. So
wait. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I do have one more thing.
No, go ahead.
Before we get to Allen, this is like I didn't know if Malik was gonna pick this up, and then when I saw I was like, okay, all right, we gotta talk about it, y'all. Got to talk about it. John Collins. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave the floor open, and I'm gonna let y'all speak.
I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest with you. I'm being completely, because I didn't already talked about it with somebody else, and I'm just like, no, like I talked about it. I talked about it earlier. I was like, John Collins is just it just looks like everybody on the floor it's a mismatch for him. Like he can't guard anybody on the Sixers. Ben Simmons is too fast for him. You're not going to put him on Steph Curry. He's too small for Embiid. You're not going to put him on. I mean, you could put him on Tybal, but you're not. I'm not going to put him on Korkmaz. And the way Tobias is playing, you can't put him on him either. You could put him on Tobias, but then you have to worry. Okay, who's going to play? Because hasn't he been guarding Ben Simmons to start the game? If I'm not mistaken, he's been guarding.
He's been guarding Ben.
He's been guarding Ben. So you put him on Tobias, who's going to guard Ben? You're not going to put I'm not going to put Bogey on Ben. I'm not going to put Solo on Ben either. I mean, I really don't want to put Kevin or Tony on him either. So, like I said, he just doesn't. I honestly don't think he fits in this series. Like I think he will have like 8, maybe 17, 18 around that scoring range on game 3. But I mean, he just doesn't look like his points are really not impactful. Like you look on the stat sheet, you're like, oh dang, he had 17. It didn't feel like it because it just doesn't feel like it. I don't even think he hit a 3 in game 3, and he was wide open most of the time. So I honestly think the last time he hit a 3 in this series was game 1. He hasn't hit anything else after that. So
I think maybe at the beginning of game 3 he might have hit a corner 3 in front of the Hawks bench, but I might be tripping. Have you seen the stat sheet?
Let me. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, he went
0 for 2.
Yeah, he went 0 for 2. I see it.
0 for 2.
Okay, I see.
So Yeah, I mean, besides that game one, he's really just been quiet, in my opinion. Really not impactful on the floor. So, and I don't want to get into the contract thing because we can go on about that too. But just what I've seen in this series is he just is a mismatch.
I think they should have gave him some post work a little more. I don't know. Because I feel like they go away from him a lot, even though, like I said, I think he fits his team pretty good in the sense that he's a multi-tool. He's a rebounder, an offensive rebounder at that. But if like Capella's not in the game, he can space the floor. He's a roller. He can shoot the ball. And what I need to see him work on is instead of like taking those threes, 2-dribble pull up. Keep it simple. Like you gotta jump a ball. He gotta work on his game. It's a lot more ball handling. You see what I'm saying? But as far as like this series, like I said, I wish they would have went to him a lot like after the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? But like it's the first quarter, he wasn't playing good, but he started picking it up. And like I said, he was consistent, but like you said, he didn't flash for us. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I wish they would have gave him the ball. Like if Tobias is cooking, post up Tobias, make Tobias work. You know what I'm saying? At least give him something. Tobias you ain't giving him that, but he just spacing the flow. And I just be watching, I'm like, they ain't even gonna get John the ball. Why Trey run a pick and roll and kick it to the other side. John be right there in the corner. Like I seen John was in the game one time like this, bro. And I think Bogut had the ball and stuff. Like he just like a pretty much like a send up, but he doesn't impact the game in this series. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. Like I'm feeling like how he felt when they got into it at the beginning of the season when he was mad they won't give him his touches, bro. Like, hey, bro, show him some love, bro. At least give him some look. Like they not like I said, it was at a point in time when Gallo wasn't even posting up. Now, like in the Knicks series, Gallo he was shooting. He was like, it was like, Gallo, why you shooting so bad? He was like, I realize I can't shoot. I'm not effective in shooting, so I'm gonna go to it. Like now we see Gallo pump fake and drive it over. Gallo is not taking that first initial three. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's switching it up. Like I said, John need to do the same thing. Like I said, I think they need to implement him more. My opinion, to be effective. Make Harris and even though they might be. Well, Ben Simmons might be a better defender than Harris, but like I said, make Harris work. For Harris, like, whatever you want, bro. Whatever you want.
John took the second most shots in Game 3 on the team. He had 14 shots. Bogey had 13, and Trey had 17. But and obviously he finished with the second most points, 23. So I think the thing with John, like you always want to be careful with these things because like we had Feldwood on like a month ago, and he was talking about like when you have the Hawks parents so active on Twitter, like Mama JC and everything, like you view them more than just like a player and like this player, like you view them as the humans they are. So I think with John, man, it's been a tough postseason for him. It's been a tough postseason for him. But what I want Hawks fans to understand, this is one thing Hawks fans don't get. When people criticize John Collins, and like it's not John Collins just John Collins slander, like just out of nowhere. They're doing it because of the standard that John Collins has kind of put on himself, the expectation he's put on himself. So if you reportedly turned down $90 million and you say you turned it down because you know your worth and you're betting on yourself and you feel like you deserve, so and so like more money, kind of something a little more comparable to your counterparts, your 2017 classmates and stuff. The thing is, bro, like even if he said I don't want to match, I don't know where people got that from. 90 mil, there's only so much far you can go up. Like what is like 20 million more that you can go up at his age bracket. So it's just like, dude, like that is anything over that is close to or the max. So when you put that expectation on yourself, people are looking at you every game. People are looking at you in the big games. And, when him and Capella I think all postseason, those guys have struggled to get anything going if Trey wasn't setting them up in the perfect position. Like John isn't knocking down the jump shot unless Trey gives him like the perfect energy on a pick and pop, you know what I'm saying? And it's right rhythm, step in, shoot, catch and shoot. And he's not I don't know, but you have to implement it, like something that Shaq would say, like, if they never drew plays for Shaq, he get 40 and 20 because he get 20 rebounds and then put it up 20 times, off the rebound. So it's just like, John, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell John because, like, I'm not 6'9", whatever John is, you know what I'm saying? So I can't tell him, search yourself down low and, get rebounds and, make yourself some offense, force some offense yourself. I don't know what to tell him, but it's obviously just been a tough postseason, and that's the reason why he's getting ridiculed for it so much from some other Hawks fans. It's not because Hawks fans are giving up on John or they're hating on John or they don't want to see John succeed. It's literally because this is the standard that John Collins has put on himself in a public space, so people are going to hold him to that standard that he put himself in a public space before the season. So that's how I feel about John Collins. And with that, that's the only basketball stuff I have, Malik. You can wrap it up now with your other questions to Alan before we wrap up.
Cool. So we can just wrap it up here with Alan. Like I said, I saw you with the throwback Hawks hat on. So, and I know you were talking before we even started that, Mookie Blaylock, all those guys. So who is your favorite Hawks team from back? Well, I mean, even just in general, because it seems like you've been a Hawks fan for a minute. So favorite Hawks team.
It might be the cliche answer, but I don't know. Hold on. I would say the sister win team because I like the ball moving, but they really didn't do too much. You know what I'm saying? LeBron. But I like Joe and Josh them, man. Like the highlight factor, man. They had that thing rocking, man. I say that's Joe, Josh.
You say
Josh
the highlight factory Hawks?
Yeah. That was just exciting to watch, man.
So
Joe,
when they had the light behind the basket, the fire.
Yes, sir.
Them teams are bad, bro.
Hey, man. It's about, hey, man. Lob City, the first one.
Yeah, I hear you though. No, when Bibby came, that was Lob City for real.
Yeah.
When Bibby is throwing them lobs up from half court to Josh, oh my gosh, they would do it every game. Once a game, Bibby would throw it to Josh from half court. Those teams were crazy, but when I think of highlight factor, I think of the red and white jersey still. When Joe first got there, Josh was still young and flying everywhere. So you mean just Josh and Joe, period, like the whole era of Joe and Josh?
And the little piece they had with Mike Bibby, like when they initially first started their playoff little run.
Okay.
08, yeah.
So Horford was on the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about 05, 06 type.
Gotta get a little, ISO Joe. Those guys.
I got you.
Rashad, I think one episode since the season almost looked like it's about to be over, we ain't gonna have no content. So we gonna have to do like a Hawks Mount Rushmore video or something like, cause I mean, my list probably not gonna be like legit because I came on late, but I came on during the Joe Johnson days, and Joe Johnson's probably one of my favorite Hawks players, honestly. So I'm definitely gonna have him up there. But I'm interested to see how everybody else the Mount Rushmore list would be. So that would be something interesting for sure.
Well, let's get Allen's on here. I guess since he's on here, put you on the spot. You got 4 Hawk spots. Give us a little sneak peek of these off-season episodes. Who are your 4 on your Hawks Rushmore?
Okay, Joe number 1. You gotta have Nick, of course. Put my dog on that big tray, man. Damn, I got one more. Who? I'm trying to think. Can I put one of my favorite Hawks that I like?
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, it's your your Mount Rushmore.
Well, I ain't gonna put it. Y'all gonna laugh at me though, but he's one of my favorite Hawks. So. It's an honorable mention, but he's not really like. He played for Utah. He's like one of my favorites. Not Utah, Denver.
Oh, the anchor man. The anchor man.
Yeah.
He
one of my favorites. Yeah. Like I say, his tenure wasn't that long though, so it's like.
No, he
was it like 4 years?
A couple Hawks. He was here for a couple Hawks. Yeah, about 5 years.
But my last one, I say Steve Smith.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna go with the early one because I'm probably gonna change this throughout the summer every episode, Malik. My first one, I'm gonna go real basic. Yeah, I could do it like it's a lot of ways you can go with this, but I'm gonna just go with first one, Pete Maravich, Dominique. But Dominique number one. Pete Maravich number 2, Trey number 3, and then I'll go Joe number 4. There's a lot of people in the mix, but those are my 4 I'm going with.
Dang, since y'all look like I gotta do mine, but mine ain't set up really yet. But all I got right now. All right, so I'm definitely for sure Joe up there, Meek up there for sure. After that, it kind of get blurry for me because I want to put Trey, but it's like, dang, bro, he ain't really been here for that long. But I'm gonna go out.
He's already done more than a lot.
True.
All due respect.
All right, so okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go Joe, Meek, Al. I'm gonna go Trey. Like I said, it could change, but that's what I'm gonna go with now. I'm gonna go with. All right, shoot. So yeah, and y'all got anything else before we wrap it up? Nope. All right, cool. So this was another episode of Birds in the Buckets, y'all. We appreciate you, Alec, for coming on for sure. Coming on, talking some Hawks with us. Like I said, we don't know. This might be the last recap preview. so Alan, you got the season finale of this season. So everybody just go around, shout out to social. You can start, Alan.
SS Granite all together 15 on Twitter. Little dude from across the street.
Little dude from across the street. Can I have a dollar?
Yo, Malik said that before you came on, and I didn't know that was your Twitter name. That's crazy. Okay, I'm here now.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram @_Malik ATL as always.
RashadMillan.com. You can follow me on Twitter at To Trade or Not To Trade Odyssey Sims.
And if they come out clean.